Dubbed the most haunted ship in the world, it is a vessel filled with rebellious souls from the 19th century. This is the world's oldest active iron-hulled merchant ship, launched in 1863 under the name Euterpe. She has circumnavigated the globe 21 times, surviving typhoons, collisions, and even mutinies. But she carried more than just cargo and passengers. She carried tragedy. Death, disease, and despair have haunted this ship for over 140 years of her history, and they say that some of the sailors and passengers never truly left the ship. The history of the Star of India began with turbulence. On her very first voyage to India in 1864, the ship suffered a collision, a crew mutiny, and lost her topmasts in a storm. Her first captain passed away right on board. It was not a smooth beginning, but the true ghost stories began later, when she became an emigrant transport, and later, a fishing vessel. The most famous spirit on board is a young boy named John Campbell. In 1884, John, who was just 14 years old, stowed away on the Euterpe in Glasgow, Scotland. Instead of being thrown overboard, the captain allowed him to stay and work to pay for his passage. John was eager to learn the trade of a sailor, but just a few months later, tragedy struck. John was assigned to climb the mast. He slipped and fell from a height of 100 feet, about 30 meters, crashing onto the deck below. The fall shattered both his legs and caused severe injuries. John did not pass away immediately. He suffered in terrible agony for 4 days before finally succumbing to his injuries. Today, visitors and crew on the ship often feel a cold hand touch their back or shoulder when standing near the spot where John fell. Some feel as if someone is holding their hand. Perhaps John is still seeking comfort, or simply wants to play like a normal boy. Another tragic story involves the chain locker. In 1909, as the ship was returning from Alaska, a Chinese fisherman was working in the dark chain locker. His job was to guide the massive anchor chain into position as it was being hauled up, but a mechanical failure occurred. The anchor chain was suddenly released, dropping back down at breakneck speed. The unfortunate fisherman was caught in the chain and tragically crushed against the hull, or pulled through the narrow hawsepipe out to sea. No one heard his screams over the deafening noise of the machinery. The chain locker area is now considered one of the coldest and scariest places on the ship. Visitors often feel unusual, cold spots, and the sensation of being watched. Some believe the fisherman's spirit is still trapped there, eternally performing his dangerous task. But perhaps the most haunting spirit is that of Captain McBarnett. He was a passenger on the Euterpe. Suffering from severe depression, McBarnett attempted to take his own life in his cabin. The ship's doctor saved him, stitched his wounds, and moved him to the first mate's cabin for supervision. But in a moment when the guard was distracted, McBarnett tore open his stitches and passed away right in the first mate's bunk. The first mate's cabin is now a paranormal hotspot. A teacher leading a student tour who slept on the ship recounted that while sleeping in this cabin, her blanket was violently yanked off her in the middle of the night. She felt the warm room turn freezing cold and sensed a heavy, invisible presence weighing down the space. There are also stories of Captain William Story, the first captain who died on the ship. He is said to still walk the poop deck, and people can hear the heavy footsteps of the boots he used to wear. Paranormal film crews like Ghost Adventures have visited the Star of India and recorded many strange phenomena. They heard knocking, footsteps, and even disembodied voices responding to their questions. One crew member even had a mysterious scratch appear on his neck. The Star of India is not just a ship. It is a time machine, holding not only wood and iron but also the memories and souls of those who lived, worked, and died upon her. When you step aboard the Star of India, you are stepping into the world of 19th century sailors. You can hear the wind whistling through the rigging, the waves slapping against the hull, and if you listen closely, maybe the whisper of John Campbell or the footsteps of Captain Story. They are still there. On the ship, they can never leave. Thank you for listening to the story of the Star of India. Would you dare to step down into the chain locker or sleep in the first mate's cabin? Share your thoughts in the comments. Please like and subscribe to follow the most haunted houses in the world.